Hi everyone, I'm Michelle Hamer, your program advisor for Southern Methodist University's Paralegal Certificate Program. Just a little background about myself. I've been working in higher ed as an instructor and in admissions and program advisement for professional and graduate degree education for about 7 years. I'm very excited to be a member of the SMU team and working with each of you as you make the decision to enroll in our paralegal program. I want to thank each of you for taking time out of your evening to join us for this informational webinar. I'm not sure if you're aware that our Paralegal Certificate Program is just one of the many excellent career-enhancing programs that we offer through our Continuing and Professional Education Department, or the CAPE, including web design, graphic design, and financial planning. We are very responsive to the professional education needs of our growing community of learners in the Dallas and Plano areas through our academic outreach and engagement. Our paralegal program is a 6-month non-credit program which consists of instructor-led classroom instruction delivered by expert practicing attorneys who are professionals in their fields. We are experienced practitioners who bring the real-world experience to the classroom, ensuring that your learning is informative and engaging. Each of our classes focuses on the applicable skills that you will need to become a successful paralegal. At this point, I'd like to introduce our presenter and our program director of our paralegal certificate, Jennifer John.
Well, thanks so much, Michelle, for that fantastic introduction. What we'll be doing over the next probably 40 to 45 minutes is answering a lot of questions that you might have about the paralegal program. On this next screenshot, I have an overview of what to expect during the next 40 minutes. And then when I get down into the area for payment options and enrollment, I'm going to go ahead and turn the presentation back over to Michelle, and she'll be talking about some of those options that are available, also how to get enrolled. And then during the webinar, she's also going to be answering any questions that you post. Now, before I get started, I do want to make sure that our audio is coming through loud and clear. You'll notice there's a small hand icon right next to your name. Go ahead and click on that hand icon. That'll let Michelle and myself know that you can hear us. And I'll just give it a couple of seconds. Fantastic. I see hands going up all over. And also I do want to point out again, there's a question box area. Feel free to type any questions in there as I go through my presentation, and Michelle will try to answer as many of those as possible during the webinar, and then we'll wrap up during the last 5 minutes with additional questions that you might have. All right, well, let's go ahead and get started. First of all, why should you earn a paralegal certificate? Well, I'd like to pose this question to my audience tonight. I have several compelling reasons that I'd like to share with each one of you. First of all, did you know that the paralegal career track is ranked as a top 10 career? And that was according to the Wall Street Journal. Also, did you know that paralegals ranked as one of the best jobs in America? That was according to Money Magazine. This profession continues to experience exceptional growth. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, the paralegal field is projected to grow by more than 18% through the year 2020. I think you'd be hard-pressed to find a field, probably other than healthcare, with extremely healthy growth potential over the next decade. Now, employment of paralegals and legal assistants is, of course, one of the faster than average occupations according to the Department of Labor. As employers are also trying to reduce costs and increase the efficiency of legal services, they're expected to hire more paralegals and legal assistants. We've seen, following the cutbacks experienced during the recent recession, that some law firms are building their support staff by hiring paralegals. Paralegals can really be a less costly alternative to attorneys, and they are now performing a much wider variety of duties, including those tasks that were once done by lawyers. So this will cause an increase in demand for paralegals as well as legal assistants. And so is this program the best one for you? Well, we do know that there's a lot of different options out there as far as paralegal education. I think it's really one of the strengths of our profession. But the type of program chosen by each student depends on several factors. And that includes, first of all, prior educational experience. Students who already have a degree are not likely to attend a 2- or 4-year paralegal program because it simply doesn't make any sense to obtain an associate or 4-year paralegal program if you can take a certificate program. Also, prior life experience. Many paralegal certificate students, they have valuable real-world experience but simply lack the credentials or certification to be competitive for job opportunities. And then attorneys want to hire paralegals that can efficiently and accurately perform specific law-related tasks. They want paralegals that possess skills which make them and their firm more productive. So as a general rule, attorneys don't care about geometry, psychology, and any other general study courses that an employee has taken. What they care about is whether the employee can maintain a client file, conduct legal research, draft legal documents, and perform other relevant tasks. Paralegal certificate programs offer training in the specific skills attorneys are looking for in their paralegal employees. Next, why should you earn your certificate from Southern Methodist University? Well, as everyone knows, the reputation of SMU is well known throughout not only the state of Texas, but all over the country. As a top university, having an SMU certificate credential on your resume will speak loudly about the high level of training which you have received. In addition, SMU's law school has graduated many of the attorneys that are practicing in the Dallas area. Those alumni ties are strong and certainly improve our graduates' employability. Next, all of our instructors are licensed practicing attorneys selected for both their legal expertise as well as their teaching ability. Each instructor has gone through an intensive hiring process, including a teaching demonstration to ensure that they are both subject matter experts but also are able to engage their students while conducting classes. Our 6-month program is ideal for individuals who are looking for a fast track into a new paralegal career. Now, while it's challenging and extensive, we provide all the resources which you would need to succeed in our program. It's offered conveniently either 2 evenings a week or all day on Saturday so that you can maintain your busy personal and professional work-life balance while attending our program. In addition, you'll become part of a 100-year tradition of excellence. SMU is a private university of 11,000 students and over 1,110,000 continuing education students. We're located near the center of Dallas. SMU consistently ranks in the top third of national universities in U.S. News and World Report. So SMU is only one of 3 Texas universities to be named to this guide. We were founded back in 1911 by what is now the United Methodist Church, and SMU opened in 1915 with the support from Dallas leaders. The university is non-sectarian in its teaching and committed to freedom of inquiry. Next, I'd like to talk a little bit about the excellent instructors that are in our program. As you can see from this screenshot, we go through a very extensive hiring process to bring the best attorneys in who can teach in the program. All of the instructors, aside from our career prep instructor, are members of the Dallas Bar, and they're selected for both their technical knowledge as well as their teaching ability. When we first started the program, prior to the launch 3 years ago, we actually posted a position on the Dallas Bar Association listserv, and gosh, I would say I received over 200 resumes from attorneys who did want to teach in the program. Based on the resumes that came in, I actually interviewed, I would say, over 70 attorneys. And what I was looking for during that phone interview process were two things. First of all, did they have the subject matter expertise in that particular area of law that they would be teaching in? And then more importantly, did they have experience working with paralegals? We felt that it was very important that they had that actual experience working with paralegals so that they would know what it would take to become a successful paralegal. So after the interviews, we then schedule what we call test teaches. This is when the attorney came onto campus, and then myself and a review board sat with them in a mock classroom setting, and they delivered approximately 30 to 45-minute teaching demonstration. What we were looking for was their classroom demeanor. Were they able to engage during the test teach? And then we also asked some tough questions that some students may throw out at them. So based on those test teaches, we've hired the instructors that were in place right now. Also, all of our students have an opportunity to evaluate the instructors after they teach each of the individual modules, and we take these evaluations very seriously as far as any of the negative feedback that we receive, and gives us an opportunity to work with the instructor and coach them from an improvement standpoint. So the student evaluations, which of course are primarily very enthusiastically positive, but also the negative feedback that we receive, are excellent tools for us to utilize as we are not only rehiring those instructors, but also helping them develop in the program. What you see now is a screenshot of several of the instructors that teach for us. First of all, Michelle Border. Michelle Border has, oh gosh, she's got over 20 years experience as a high-level paralegal, and she teaches two of the career preparation classes that we have in the program. That would be your specific areas of paralegal practice, and then also the resume writing and interview technique seminar. Next, we have Christine Horn, and Chris teaches our Introduction to Law and Civil Litigation classes, and then Jean Roberts, who is our instructor for legal research and writing. Jean's actually a graduate of the Dedman Law School and is a fantastic instructor in the program as well. On this screenshot, you've got the ability to read through some of the quotes from recent graduates of our program. The first one is from Sandra Dias, and Sandra stated, "The paralegal program not only changed my career, it also changed my life. I would highly recommend SMU's program as a fantastic way to learn a new career." And then from Catherine Cabiro, Catherine stated, "I decided to enroll in the program because SMU is a great university with an excellent reputation. The program was well tailored to fit a 6-month schedule while balancing my full-time job and classes." So as you can see, it is a very good program. Even if you do have a full-time job, we found that all of our students are very successful managing and balancing both that full-time job as well as the demands of our 6-month program. What you see right now is a picture taken at one of our graduation ceremonies. You'll notice that several of the graduates are holding their beautifully framed graduation certificate, and actually the young girl that you see is holding her mother's certificate. So these graduation ceremonies that are also offered 2 times a year for the paralegal programs are a fantastic way for our graduates to invite their friends, their colleagues, anyone that supported them during the 6-month program, and it's a very good way to celebrate all of the achievements over that 6-month time period. Next, here's a screenshot of outside of the building where the graduation ceremony was held. This was for our spring 2012 graduation ceremony, and as you can see, there's a very nice group of individuals there also holding those beautiful graduation certificates. I really love this particular screenshot. It's a quote from Carl Rogers. The only person who is educated is the one who has learned how to learn and change. So our program prepares graduates to work in the ever-changing paralegal field. Paralegals and legal assistants are found in all types of organizations, but most work for law firms, corporate legal departments, or government agencies. They typically work full-time, and overtime is sometimes needed to meet important deadlines. Paralegals and legal assistants help lawyers prepare for hearings, trials, and corporate meetings, but their specific duties may vary depending on the size of the firm or organization. In smaller firms, paralegals duties tend to vary more, simply because they're going to be expected to handle a lot of different aspects of the different types of cases that the small firms have. While larger firms, this is where you find paralegals specializing in certain areas of law, such as family law, litigation, or contract law. So in those larger organizations, for example, a litigation paralegal might only review legal matter for internet use, maintain reference files, conduct research for lawyers, and then collect and organize evidence for hearings. The litigation paralegals also often attend trials, but they might prepare trial documents or draft settlement agreements based on the trial. So a wide variety of areas of practice, everything from the lower end, which would be your small law firms with 1 to 5 practitioners, up to those larger law firms that have over 500 to 1,000 attorneys. And paralegals would be specializing more frequently in the larger law firms, where their variety of duties would be much broader in some of the small firms. Now, in addition to the topics that we have in our program, we also have incorporated into the program 2 specific career seminars that help our students begin their own job search. Frequently, we do get questions from prospective students wanting to know if we have a placement office, like what they may have experienced in their undergraduate days. But no, our program is offered through the Continuing Education Department of the university, so there is not a formal career preparation, or career office. However, again, we do have these career development seminars in the program so that our students are able to begin preparing for their own job search. As I showed you in one of the earlier slides, Michelle Border is the instructor for both the resume writing and then also the interview technique seminar. And she does also introduce students to the local paralegal association, which is called DAPA, Dallas Area Paralegal Association, and our students are eligible for a student discount. It's a fantastic organization where there's a lot of networking opportunities as well as opportunities for mentors through that organization. So Michelle does a very good job of helping students start getting their mind about thinking about the different areas of law that they can work in, and also what it takes to land that interview, from the first step of having a very high quality resume to what they need to do as far as preparation before the interview. All right, next I do want to talk about some of the upcoming paralegal program schedules. The one that you see in front of you is our next program, which is going to be offered on our Dallas campus. It's a Tuesday, Thursday evening format that meets from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. It's going to run from June 18th through November 19th, and classes, of course, again, meet on Tuesday and Thursday evening. So the very first week, June 18th, students start off with career preparation that evening, and then Thursday night, June 20th would be the first tort and personal injury law class. Now you'll notice that the tort and personal injury class that meets on June 25th is a Tuesday night, and then there's an introduction to law class that meets on Thursday evening. In this particular example, the instructors that teach both of those classes needed to switch out with each other, but you'll see consistency moving forward in that the Intro to Law and Tort and Personal Injury classes are the first of the first set of modules that students are taking. Also, if you look down at the week of July 30th, on Thursday evening is the second career preparation class. And then the week of August 6th is a break. That is when our students are taking their online final examinations. We give our students a full week after the last class session so that they can log into the online site and take that final examination. They are timed exams. We give our students approximately 2 minutes per question to take the exam, and they have that one opportunity, but they're able to log into the online site anytime that they feel most comfortable taking exams. For me, I'm a morning person. I like to get up and really hit the ground running. That's when I'm most mentally alert and fresh, so I'd probably log in around 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. But some of you may be night owls, and 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning would be a better time frame for you. But again, the exams are opened for an entire week. So wherever you see those breaks, that is when students are taking their final examinations. So after the completion of the first 2 set of modules, Introduction to Law and Tort and Personal Injury Law, our students then begin their civil litigation and then legal research and writing classes. You'll notice there's also anywhere where it says no class, those are when any specific national holiday is scheduled. So, of course, there's no class during the week of September 3rd. The last 2 week classes for civil litigation and legal research would be the week of October 8th and then October 1st, and then October 8th is the week when our students are taking their final examinations online. Then we close out the program with the last 2 set of modules, which would be bankruptcy law and contract law on October 15th, and then the last class sessions are the week of November 19th, with, of course, a final week of online completion of the final examination. So the next example that I have to show you is a Saturday format. This is our new Plano campus location, and classes are going to meet on Saturdays. They run from August 17th through February 8th. The main difference between the evening format at the Dallas campus and our Saturday format at the Plano campus is that students are going to class all day on Saturday. So the classes would meet 9 to 12 and then 1 to 4, with, of course, a break during lunch. Very similar format. You'll notice there are holiday breaks that are scheduled and the same series of classes. So we do, again, start off with Introduction to Law and Tort and Personal Injury, and then the next set of modules, it's the same. It would be civil litigation and legal research and writing, and then we close out the program beginning January 4th with bankruptcy law and contract law. You'll notice that there are breaks scheduled during the December 14th through the 28th holiday period as well. So those are 2 upcoming program schedules, which are both good, convenient formats. So again, Dallas campus is going to be meeting during the evenings, and that class begins June 18th, and then our Plano campus program is going to be Saturdays beginning on August 17th. So as far as the program details, during the 6 months, you're going to be taking over 120 hours of actual hands-on classroom education. And again, just to reiterate, those classes are scheduled evenings or Saturdays. So the Dallas campus meets 2 nights per week from 6 to 9, and then our Plano campus, we meet Saturdays from 9 to 12 and 1 to 4. Exact same content and the exact same instructors, just different dates as well as evening classes or Saturday classes. But as far as earning your actual certificate, first of all, we do want you to attend those career preparation seminars. And then in each of the 6 courses, you have to obtain a minimum of a 70% overall to graduate. And then in each of those 6 courses, it's going to be a combination of final examination, but also writing assignments. There could be actual quizzes, depending on the course itself. I would say that legal research and writing is going to have the majority of your written assignments. There are 4 assignments as well as a legal memorandum and final examination, whereas in contract law, there are only going to be a final examination and an assignment. But in each of those 6 courses, you need to achieve a 70% and then an overall cumulative average of 75% or a middle C to successfully graduate from the program. Now, as far as our entrance requirements, we do require a 4-year undergraduate degree. The degree can be in any area. It does not have to pertain to law. So a 4-year undergraduate degree, then that really ensures that our students, number one, are going to have the skill set to be able to keep up with the fast-natured program, and then also that you're going to have the credentials or the 4-year undergraduate degree on your resume. That's one of the main requirements for employment, along with your paralegal certificate. So we just want to ensure that our students are going to be not only successful during the program, but also have the credentials that they're going to need as far as employment after the program. All right, as far as the program costs, we do have, and you'll see all of this information is going to be right on our website. There's a $50 application fee, and then after you submit your application, you will receive an email about how to submit your undergraduate degree. So, we do accept photocopies of your degree. We also accept a unofficial transcript, but there's a couple of very convenient ways for you to submit your undergraduate degree information. So after you've been approved for the program, then the tuition is $5,495 after being accepted into the program, and everything is included. There aren't any type of additional hidden fees. That would include all of your textbooks and course materials, and I'm sure a lot of you can think back on your undergraduate days and know those textbooks can be quite expensive. They run us, I would say, in the $800 to $900 range. So the textbooks are included. We also give you access to that online testing center that I talked about earlier. For those of you that may have recently graduated, you're probably familiar with Blackboard. We use a very similar system. It's called Moodle, and it's a 24/7 portal that our students have access to at the beginning of the program. That's where we post not only the final exams, but all of the individual course syllabi are posted there, and the instructor PowerPoint presentations or handouts are also posted there, along with the final examinations. So in addition to the online testing center, we also give our students a subscription to Westlaw. Westlaw is an online legal research database, and there are actually 2 different providers, Westlaw and then LexisNexis. For some of you on my webinar tonight, you may have heard about either Westlaw or LexisNexis if you work for a law firm. They're very comparable systems. I'd say the large law firms use both Westlaw and LexisNexis. but we decided to go with Westlaw for our students simply because they have a superior customer service. There's an 800 number that students can call if they have questions, and in other words, they can't wait till their next legal research class and they'd like to get an instant answer. And trust me, we've called that 800 number at 2 o'clock in the morning because it is 24/7, but we tested it out at 2 o'clock in the morning, and yes, in fact, you do get a live attorney that can help you through a particular question that you might have. So for that, and also Westlaw does provide their own internal certification for those students that may be interested in it. So we decided to go with Westlaw, which is incorporated into the tuition. Of course, your career preparation classes. We do provide complimentary parking passes for our students while they're on campus during the 6 months, and of course the graduation ceremony and your beautiful graduation certificate. All right, at this point, I am going to go ahead and turn the presentation back over to Michelle Hamer. She's going to talk about a couple of the payment options and then what to expect after the webinar's over tonight.
Thank you, Jennifer. One of the things that we like to discuss with individuals who are interested in our program but need a little bit of financial help to pay for the tuition are the options you see on the screen right now. The Sallie Mae Continuing Education Loan is a low-interest loan that is set up for our non-credit continuing education programs. And this is mainly because non-credit programs that are not part of a degree program are not eligible for the state and federal funding, such as FAFSA, I can never say that word, FAFSA, because they're non-credit. So loans are typically the only option for a financial assistance side. Another way to obtain a loan would be with a credit union or your own banking institution that you have a relationship with. Many of the credit unions and banks right now are looking at offering individuals personal loans to continue their education. So that's another option that you can look into. If you are currently working in a law firm or in an organization that encourages you to increase your education and your knowledge of an area, you may also consider asking them about their tuition reimbursement program, or even if that's something that they may be willing to pay for up front. In either case, payment can be made in full online. If you go to our website, you'll see an enrollment link, and you can click on that and it'll bring you directly into our system where you can pay by credit card in full online at the time of enrollment. Or we do have the ability to download an application where you can send that in to our office and then pay for that through mail with a check or a credit card. And these are the other options. We do the online, and the downloadable registration can be faxed into us, or you can actually scan it and email it to us as well, or you can mail it to the address that will be on that form when you download it off of our website. All of this information that you see on the slide, you don't need to hurriedly jot it down. It will be included in an email that you will receive from me over the course of the next couple days as a follow-up with all of the pertinent information that we spoke about, how to register, how to enroll, and how to pay, as well as a copy of this presentation for your review and a copy of the current course outlines that Jennifer went over in detail about both our Plano program and our upcoming Dallas campus programs. You'll also receive a phone call from me over the course of the next week just to follow up and make sure that all of your questions were answered and that you gained the information that you were looking for during this webinar. And if I'm looking at the question area right now, I've answered quite a few questions. So I think I'll turn this over to Jennifer. And again, we really appreciate you joining us this evening and taking the time to sit with us and let us tell you about our program.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Michelle. We appreciate that overview. And it does look like the majority of our questions have been answered. Oh, I do want to mention somebody was asking about average salary, and really you need to think of a paralegal position as an entry-level position in the beginning. It is a good career change move, but we've actually had potential students that were making in the 70s and 80s, and while paralegal salaries can go as high as $120,000 to $130,000, that is absolutely not entry level. We found in the Dallas market that entry level is going to be anywhere between $25,000 to $35,000, so we do want to set some realistic expectations as far as level salary for paralegals. All right, well, gosh, we had over 81 registrants for our webinar tonight, and we usually have a lot more time that we spend answering questions, but it looks like we're in a position where we can end a little bit earlier, and of course wanting to honor your time. One of our main goals for tonight's webinar was to give everybody the information that they needed to make an informed decision for themselves about which program might be the best fit for their needs. Of course, we would hope that all of you decide to register for SMU, but again, it may not be the best fit for you. Michelle, of course, is going to be following up with everybody, and she'll send out a recording of the webinar, and I would like to thank everybody for joining us tonight and hope that you have a fantastic rest of your evening. So thanks again, everyone.